Well, what we saw yesterday, police were largely hands-off, at least at the beginning of the protest. And Mayor Mendenhall says that was actually on purpose. Many agree with the strategy, but others strongly do not. News specialist Tanya Dean is live at the Capitol. And Tanya, you heard arguments from both sides today.
Yes, I did, Ashley. And if you talk to people out here at the Capitol during yesterday's protest, it's pretty clear that there wasn't a huge police presence, at least not at the beginning. Today, I talked with two former police chiefs to see if they agreed with the decision to hold off.
It was a calculated and strategic decision to allow people to protest, and recognizing that we can clean up paint, we can replace windows.
The decision to allow people to protest, even to the point of vandalism, was on purpose, said Mayor Mendenhall. She said she looked at what was happening across the country where police interfere, and it only escalates the violence.
Lots of people called me last night or sent me texts and said, I cannot believe that's going on in Salt Lake City, because it just never has.
Former Salt Lake City Police Chief Chris Burbank says he understands the strategy, especially in this case where people are protesting police.
When the anger is directed specifically at police officers, at the actions that have taken place, to then place police officers in the middle to stand around, that is a show of force.
But I do see that there are things that could have been done earlier on, in my opinion, to make sure that you didn't get to where we were.
Chris Bertram, on the other hand, disagrees. He's a former police chief of Holiday and now a college professor in criminal justice.
We're a place that we hosted the Olympics. The world looks to Salt Lake City, and now they're seeing us in this light. I'm not that proud of that.
Bertram thinks if we had a larger police presence from the beginning, we could have avoided much of the destruction. He says if police had started to disperse the crowd earlier, we may not have needed the National Guard. He also says what happened was predictable and preventable.
I'm a college professor, and I would say that for not to look out that far, to not look out at 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock, and to think that this was a probability, not a possibility, this was a probability based on what people were seeing across the country, it's a D.
When he says it's a D, that's the letter grade he would give to the initial strategy. Mayor Mendenhall, however, says while she's sorry for the property damage that occurred, she stands by the decision and thinks police action and inaction was the right call.